Welcome back to the second part of our Mazda 6 MPS aka Mazda Speed 6 video project. So as we already talked last week in the previous video about this car and the reason why I decided to buy it, and the problem that I realized on the first day, namely that the chain, the timing chain has some rattling noise, especially when you start the engine in a cold situation, I decide before I start with the car review, like I do it always, I will first take care about the engine and this problem, which is this little bastard here. A small, tiny timing chain with the dimension of a bicycle chain. I was so disappointed that Mazda chose to go this way, and after some research on the internet, I also find out that also Mitsubishi with his world famous Lancer Evolution has the same problem, namely a bent timing chain. So, in case of this, I decide to tear down the half engine, take care about this problem, put a new chain in, and then go to the car review. But as I was finished, I realized how nicely most other parts now are accessible. And so I decide I will do a second order and change all in all those parts. They are now so nicely accessible, and then move on to the car review. And those parts was the oil pump, which is now really easy accessible, the water pump and all what belongs to the water pump, like tensioner, V-belt, and then also the exhaust and inlet gear wheels, which we have here, okay? And don't forget the valve cover gasket. And I became so much feedback, really worthy feedback in the last video, especially from ex-owners or still have a Mazda MPS 6 owners, about the parts and what needs to be done and what I also should take care about it. And exactly at this point, I really want to thank you about the really worthy feedback. There was some guys that was written about the parts, because in the first video I say I decide to buy a new timing chain from a German manufacturer. And so they write, don't do that. If you change parts on a Japanese performance car, go with the OEM parts, or especially with Japanese manufacturer parts, okay? And I need to say about this, yeah, it's true, but not completely 100% true, because my experience that I have over the many years with Japanese and German cars is like this. If you decide to do something electric-wise, like ignition coils, spark plugs, or sensors, then yes, always go with Japanese manufacturers like NGK, Denso, and however all they calls. But when we're talking about the real heavy-duty stuff, okay, the mechanical parts like this here, the gear wheels, an oil pump, a water pump, then my experience that I have over the years is always the German manufacturers has so much better projects than the Japanese manufacturers. And that's the reason why I always decide, when we're talking about the really heavy stuff, the heavy hardware like pumps, to go with German manufacturers. And this is the reason why I decide to go here, for example, like with Continental, Bosch, Fabi Bilstein, and in case of the whole set for the timing chain, it is Heppu, also a German manufacturer, and world famous L-ring for valve cover gaskets. So much to this point. And now let's put everything into this car and see if we bring it to running. All right, so we are done. And with done, I really mean done, because I have really a shocking moment, a longer shocking moment. It was so shocking to me and so implausible that I forget to record the whole story, okay? But this is because I will explain you what happened. So after I put all that stuff together, I turn it manually, the engine 3 times through to just get for sure, to find out that there's no issue, that the timing fits of the timing chain, so everything is turning around. So the whole engine turning around smoothly, easy by hand, so no problem, no nothing. And then I decide, let's just crank it up, let's put all the wires together, because I disconnect a lot of wires during the whole work on the car. So I connect the most important wires, because my plan was, let's just crank it up to create oil pressure, and before I start to do the rest. And then I connect all the things, I put the battery in, I connect all the connections that are important for the car, and turn the ignition key on, and nothing happens. Just the lights pop on and nothing happens. No ignition, no nothing. And so at the first point I thought maybe I forgot something, some connection, so I prove it again. And at the end I connect all that fucking stuff. So I connect the whole car, and the car still won't turn the engine by the starter. And I was really over 2 hours at the whole story, sitting behind of this car, sitting under this car, prove all the connections, because the starter somehow don't want to start. Luckily, a guy nearby from the other garage come to help me, and so we start to searching the issue. We proved the fuse, we proved all the connections, everything was good. At the end we proved the starter, so the starter also has power, but nothing happens. And so at the end I thought, okay, it must be the starter. The starter needs to be replaced, because this is the only plausible thing that could be. But because he is a passionate off-roader, and he has a lot of experience with cars in the wild and a lot of problems that can happen there, he said to me, I think the starter is blocked, because the car was sitting on the lift for over 2 months, it's an older car, blah blah blah. Let's try to take a hammer and just knock on the starter and see if the starter maybe really is just blocked, and maybe we can unblock them. So I got to the car, turned many times the ignition on and off, and he was under the car and knocking with the hammer on the starter, and bam, it happens, the car became to life. The car starts, the starter was really locked. Yeah, I never had this before in my whole career as a car guy. And yeah, because I was thinking, okay, it must be the starter is broken, we need to change it. But it's funny to see how sometimes such simple things can really fucked up your whole day. Let's say it like this. Okay, good. At the end we start the car. We put some oil pressure, we crank it up until the oil pressure was here. I put the spark plugs inside just to find out if everything is running. Everything runs well, everything runs fine. And so now I'm ready to finish the whole car, put all that stuff together that I disconnect and put away from the engine bay, and move on then in the next videos to the other smaller issues that needs to be fixed, before we then finally can go to the main video, which is then the car review about this car, and finally find out if this car is really a sleeper. It is a JDM legend that was not discovered until now, and that will be then really, I'm so happy about this video that we will then make in maybe 2 weeks, driving this car, drive it hard on the Swiss mountain pass roads, and have a lot of fun. And then at the end come to the conclusion, what's all about this car? Is it a sleeper? Is it really worthy to call it a JDM legend, a future JDM legend? Because I think yes, it is. So stay tuned until the next video.